Hey team, welcome today to our blue level intermediate workout. So what that means is if you've been doing the green levels, this is a good step up for you. If you've been doing our purples, this is a really, really good way to back down the effort, but keep that activity level high throughout your week, which is very, very important for overall health. We know this. So today we've got a 40-minute or 39 minutes, thereabouts. We've got a whole bunch of different movements today. I'm not focusing on any specific body part. We're focusing on coordination. We're focusing on getting the heart rate up and just warming up a little bit. So I'm going to talk through the movements now. If you want to skip ahead, check the chapter markers below. You'll see one called the workout. But stick with me now if you want me to talk through the movements. You want to understand how to work on better form throughout this session. So the first movement, we've got the squat thrust. You can see that here. I'm going to show you what we do with this one. The squat thrust is it's what burpees used to be known as. And if we take the term, we break it down, what we're going to do, squatting down with our hands in front of us because we want to get those hands on the floor. So squat and the thrust is that. So we're going to push our legs back until we're in a plank. Now, an important part with this, we're not cobra, we're not letting our hips fall, and we're not in a pike either. We're not getting the butt up, we're in a plank. From here, you can then thrust those legs back up to the hand. Important that you want to try and get those feet up as close to the hand as possible because then you're going to stand straight up and resume that squat. So we're cutting a squat in half with a thrust standing up. At the top here, you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to full hip extension. It's practice for when we do full burpees because with a full burpee, I want us to jump up in the air with full straight hips. We're not going to do any of those silly CrossFit burpees where you got your hips bent. Full hip extension, please. So if that is a bit much for you, what you can do is actually a step back instead of a thrust. So you're gonna squat, step back, step in, stand up tall. So that was a really good regression for those squat thrusts there. Next movement on the list is the back rotation. So that's why I've got this mat here because we're gonna use the mat. Roll that out. You're gonna pop onto your hands and knees and it's gonna be a split. We're gonna do 30 seconds of the right-hand side, 30 seconds of the left-hand side. Hands and knees, you're gonna grab one hand, fingertips on the temple. We're gonna rotate up until our upper elbow is pointed towards the ceiling, and we've got 180 degrees here. So you're gonna bring that back down, and then up. Down, and up. It doesn't look like much. From the onset, it doesn't look like you're doing much, but if you're doing this right, we're gonna be using all of those muscles on the back in order to open the chest up. So we're stretching the chest out and we're squeezing the shoulder blades together. And we're also getting a really nice thoracic stretch in the spine here. So very important, we try and keep the neck, spine all the way down to the hips in a nice neutral alignment. Rotate up, and you might get some clicks and pops in there as well. Cool, and if you haven't done this one in a while, you will feel it tomorrow. This is all about your postural muscles. Hey Beardy, how you going? After our back rotations, we've got alternating lunge and knee. So alternating means we're not gonna do a left and a right, we're gonna actually do them all in the same interval. We're gonna lunge forward and then knee. It's a lunge back. So stepping forward, lunge backward with the right, bring it up into the knee. Alternate, lunge back with the left, bring it up into the knee. Backwards lunge, knee. Now with these backward lunges, nice tall torso. You see I'm not hinging at the hip. I'm actually stepping back 90 degrees in both legs, upright so that when I drive up with this front leg, I can bring the knee up on the other side there. So after our alternating lunge knees, plank, bringing this guy back. A plank should need no introduction, but we can always talk about the form pointers. Shoulders stacked over the elbows. You see I like to start here on my forearms and knees. Push the legs back and then squeezing the butt and quads so that I've got that 180 degrees between my torso and legs, and I'm gonna push my heels back. And at this point, you should feel your core start to engage. And then when you start breathing, you should hopefully be able to feel the tight core pushing against the breath. But what you wanna do is actually push down with your diaphragm, inflate the core while it's still tensed. So moving the core while it's braced and tensed, because that's what's important to do, is having a tight core and being able to breathe and talk at the same time. That's what you want to be able to aim to do. Shows you've got really, really good diaphragm control with that. After our planks, we're going to go into Goth Martha Stewart's favorite, the Cossack Squats. Remember those? Okay, So a Cossack squat, really, really wide with these ones, okay? And the reason we're really wide is because what we're doing is we're squatting down onto one side. And as we go down, the heel remains flat on the floor, but that toe goes up, keeping the torso and the head upright, and then down. So this is when you're beginning, we're gonna be going up to the top and then down. But as we get better, we're gonna keep our hips nice and low and go from side to side with these ones. So really, really good for the groin muscles, basically. Sweet, so after Cossack squats, we're bringing that mat out again. We're going into shoulder taps. Now, shoulder taps is a little bit like a dynamic plank, is a really good way to explain it. High plank, hands down, pushing those legs out. But what we're gonna do, put our feet onto the outside of the mat there. So we're gonna widen the feet, simply because we're taking one hand off at a time. We want a tripod. So as we take our hand off, we tap the shoulder, down, tap the shoulder, down. As you tap that shoulder, you should actually feel all of the muscles in the shoulder. You should feel all of the muscles in the shoulder that are now being used to stabilize you as you're on one hand and 2 feet. You should also feel the cross-body compensation. As you take a hand off the floor, you're gonna need to engage the core so that your body doesn't rotate. You see, again, the rotation is what we don't want. I don't want this. We're not rotating up so that we can balance. I want the shoulders flat. Keeping the shoulders flat, keeping the hips flat. And if you've got a pizza on your back, it doesn't go anywhere. There, so there are our shoulder taps. After shoulder taps, we're then gonna go into leg raises so we can leave the mat on the floor. You're gonna lay down, nice and straight, nice and flat. Hands out to the sides. Now, level 1, bent knees, leg raises. Easy. A little bit more difficult, and this is what I'd like everyone to aim for, straight leg raises. Up to the top, up to 90 degrees. Now the next level, if you can muster it, if you've got the core strength to do it, further than 90 degrees. So if you can bring your straight legs further than 90 degrees, you're in a really, really good spot in terms of core strength and hip mobility, hamstring mobility as well. So after the leg raises, the final movement, the humble push-up, we're gonna keep the mat here. We're gonna pop back into this high plank position, hands just outside of shoulder width. But as we know with push-ups, there's hundreds of variations. So you can have wide, you can have close, you can have one high, one low, etc. But whatever works for you, I just want that nice straight plank from the toes, please. I'd like you to try this. Chest down, all the way up. Down, all the way up. And remember, keep your face looking at the floor. What I don't want to see is this, looking at your toes, or this, looking up in front of you. Don't do that. Look down at the floor, chest to the floor, all the way up, because it's super important we do keep a nice neutral spine position with that one. Sweet, that's it. They're the movements. 39 minutes worth. I'm gonna move this mat out of the way because our first movement is a squat thrust. I'm gonna get going. So if you've got a heart rate monitor, put your watch into cardio mode, press go, and then we're gonna press start on this timer. Here we go, let's get it, let's get it. First squat thrust. Remember the first round, it's really, really good to just warm yourself up into it. We've got 4 rounds to do in total. So here we go, here we go, here we go. Did I press start? I did. 3, 2, 1, squat thrust. 30 seconds worth. Is that beeping? Did that just beep? Let me know. It beeped good. It just didn't beep for me. That's fine. I'll fix it in the next rest. So trying to get that heart rate into a nice rise there. There we go, I think you would have heard that beep again. Cool, cool. Beep. That's what we need, beeps. Sweet, thank you. Okay, press OK here. Let's see if this works now. Back rotations left. It didn't beep, that's fine. So we're gonna go left hand side. Down. Down, good. We're gonna swap sides now. There we go. I've got to keep an eye on that screen here. We're gonna go to the right hand side. No, there's 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds. So take a breath, getting into the hands and knees position. 2, 1, fingertips at the temple, let's go. Rotate up, down, 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 good. So you want to go slow with these. I don't want to see anyone flapping around like a single-armed Flappy Bird. That's not what this is about. This is about the range of motion and the mobility. So you see how I take a little bit of a pause at the top here? Half a second, down, up, one more. That's it, good. 30-second rest, 30-second rest. Affirmative, affirmative. Roger, Roger, yeah. Whoa, that just... Sweet. Okay. Alternating lunge and knees. This one's easy for me to watch on the screen here. So we're gonna lunge backwards. See? We go backwards lunge. Knee. Backwards lunge. Bring that knee up. So in those 2 rests where I've been clicking around there, I've just ascertained that it's not Wavelength. Wavelength is actually doing everything it should. It's OBS again. Bloody OBS. But look, I can't complain too much. It allows us to do what we do currently. This is 1 minute, by the way. 1 minute of lunging and knees. So reverse lunge, bring that knee up. For those of you that are on the running program, especially B-foot, super happy with B-foot. He did his first ever, I think it was his first ever, he mentioned. First ever over 100 kilometer week. I think it was 110 kilometers he ran in 1 week as part of my training program for him. And at the same time, he beat his, what you call it, 10K PB. Just crazy, it's crazy. There, apply. Okay, this should beep now. It should beep. Okay, we've got a plank to do. It's a 45-second. So those of you that have been doing the planking with me, you should hopefully feel pretty good with this one. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I didn't hear the beep. Still not, that's all right. Breathe. Did you guys hear the beep? Let me know. 30 more seconds. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the quads, push those heels back. Make sure your shoulders are stacked over the elbows. Breathe. Halfway there, come on, breathe, breathe, breathe. If you feel like you can't hold the plank for the full 45 seconds, 2 things, no stress. Don't feel bad about it. Drop down, take a couple of breaths, resume. But what I'd be suggesting is that you check out a few more of those green level workouts. You keep working on your foundations. Cool. Keep working on the foundational stuff. Yeah. Source phone is going to be monitor output, monitor off, monitor and output. Please, fingers crossed. Otherwise, I don't want to have to reboot OBS, but that's all right. Cossack Squats. Hey, I got a beep. Did you guys get a beep? I just got a beep. I've never been so happy to hear a beep. So wide feet. Nah, it wasn't the speaker. So we're gonna go up to the top, keep our chest and our torso upright, down. Heel down, toe towards the ceiling. You see I'm keeping my heel flat here. I'm almost trying to sit on that heel. A lot of power in that quad to get yourself back up to the top there. So down, big open groin. I'm not being weird about it, I'm just saying. We're gonna try and push those knees out to the sides. get a good range of motion on those groin muscles, the adductors they're called. Yes, all right, shoulder taps. Getting back into it. Here. I have been playing around with a lot of home automation stuff, Mikey. So yeah, there has been some cool stuff. The beep PC beep is also that messing up with the beeping time, all the beeping stuff. Okay, hands down flat. Remember, we're in that plank, we're widening the feet because I want some extra stability. So with this one, not too fast to begin with. This is a good tempo because I'd like to change where the weight is being held from one hand to the other. Now, if you feel wrist pain, first thing to do, just test putting your hand out to the side, and rotating the fingers out to the side, okay? Or you could go up ahead, up in front like this, because a lot of the time wrist pain comes from when your hand is at 90 degrees to your forearm like that. So if you can change the angle slightly, have it out to the side, but still keep that stability, give that a shot, see how it goes. Leg raises. I can face the other way now that the beeping's working again. Let's go. So level 1, I want you to do, if you're not used to it, just go with your knees, okay? 2, 1, bent knees. So this is almost a reverse crunch. You may have heard of a reverse crunch before, a reverse sit-up. But the important part with this is the lowering of the legs. See, it's a nice, gentle, controlled descent. Just like landing a plane. Right, Liam? Right, Liam? How would you land your plane? A nice, easy, controlled descent. I know what people are gonna say. Yeah! So we've got our push-ups to do now. And remember, this is the last movement in our set. We then have a 1 minute rest and we can get through the second round by a little bit more gusto with that one. So bring ourselves down into the push-up position. Same rules apply if you're actually experiencing wrist pain as well. The ability to walk away from it is the best sort of landing. Okay, hands just outside the shoulder. You see how my elbows, when I get to the bottom, my biceps are actually pushing away from me at 45 degrees at that sort of an angle. That's kind of default for me. It's default for a lot of people. It doesn't have to be. There's no hard and fast rule that says this is best, this is better, this is the best. Depending on people's mobilities and strength, it's gonna change. If you find you don't have too much tricep strength, you're gonna find that this sort of a push-up is much easier for you. Whereas if you find that your chest is a little bit lacking, then you'll go for the triceps. I suppose the question is whether or not you want to be training things that you're not too strong at, which I would potentially prefer in a client. If I found a weakness or I found an area of opportunity, I'd be asking them to spend a little bit more time on that. So see what works for you. Do not shy away from the hard work. If you find that something is more difficult for you, and it's very easy to switch off and just do the thing that's easy to do, you're never going to improve, are you? So that's the lesson today. Don't shy away from the things that you feel like are difficult, because in time they'll become less difficult with more training, with more practice. There we go, squat thrust. We're gonna bring this up. Let's go. We're gonna make the intensity a little bit higher. Heart rate sitting in the pink. I'd like to go for blue or green. Let's go. So speed them up. Good form though. Do not sacrifice form for speed. Once you feel like your form is fantastic, then you can go faster. So you see, I'm trying to get my legs up as close to my hands as possible. Fully squatting down with the feet flat on the floor. And we hit green. We hit green, good. Back rotations now. How good is autopilot these days? Question, Liam, in terms of flying a plane, is there much of a job for a pilot these days? Yeah, I was gonna say, because even when, so I had a lot of experience with back rotations. Here we go. Left hand side. Back in the late 90s, When I was growing up with engineer family, people that worked in defense and whatnot, I was lucky enough to go sit in cockpits and spend some time in submarines and whatnot. And a lot of the autopilot stuff is actually really good. And this was in the late 90s. So in the late 90s, they could literally have hands-off controls and make their way from one part of the world to the other. Giant drones now, yeah. So one of the things that I've heard about, so people have their little 4-rotor copters, right? They're talking about unmanned drones with like 12 rotors on them. Things that can lift like 400 kilos of payload. So lots and lots of thrust. And lots of redundant rotors as well, so they could lose like 2 or 3 of them and still have full capability. Yeah, nice. Cool, 30-second rest. What could go wrong? Yeah, what could go wrong? All right, alternating lunge knees. This one's good because it's a little bit of an endurance-y one. It's a minute's worth. So get yourself prepped, get yourself ready. Remember to have those feet on railway lines. If you step right back like you're on a tightrope, you're gonna get a little bit wobbly. So stepping back, so you've got separation between the legs, and then up on that one foot, big balance. I want you to think about balancing on that one leg. You should be able to raise the knee and hold yourself for a few seconds, right? Yeah, exactly, Grace. That was the whole point, right? When the problem with helping out, and I know I'm getting a little bit political and whatnot. Yeah, no, so that's correct, Grace. I'm getting a little bit political, but one of the reasons these are designed is because oftentimes, hold a knee and smash ball. Oh, cool. I got one of these. Look at this, 5 kilos. That's great, Beardy. Okay, down. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I'm keeping that there. That's good. But yeah, helping out civilians when they're often behind enemy lines. Just getting in to give them support. So you've got people like Red Cross and Doctors Without Borders. They're often using a lot of this tech to be able to get things in where normally they wouldn't be allowed. So, here we go. Plank, 45-second. Go. But yeah, speaking of charitable organizations, if you're listening on YouTube, this might not be timely, but here on FFP, and I am Fall from Grace, who's in chat there, we do a lot of charity work. This year, so early on in the year, the first half of the year, we do work with Game On Cancer. And then later on in the year, I personally do work with Movember to help out cancer issues, but also mental health issues. The one, Movember especially, works with things like Beyond Blue and whatnot. So yeah, it's something we're pretty passionate about. So if you can give to any sort of good charitable organization, we do appreciate it. Oh, that's a great one. A drone company in Rwanda that does blood delivery to hospitals by fixed wing drone. That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Cossack Squats, here we go. So for those who know, fixed wing drones are they're not the helicopter-y ones, they're not the rotor ones. Fixed wing is more like an airplane, right? Okay, Cossack Squats. Down, bring it up. So fixed wings drones can actually fly much faster. They can actually go faster, and they've got further distance because they can glide a lot of the time as well, just through the aerodynamics of it. You saw it as well? Oh, Jave, that's cool. I might have to, yeah. Beardy, send me a link. That's cool. Yeah, very cool. shoulder taps. Okay, let's go. This is round number 2, like I said there, team. If you're feeling like this isn't, skywing, yes, yes, good. I was gonna make a note here. If you yourself are feeling like you're not getting enough out of this, just remember we're only in the first half still. So what you can do is now start to add some pace, add some tempo to everything. Also, I have to remember, I'm talking, I'm chatting. So if I were to shut up and just get some reps in, things feel a lot different. I'm holding that pizza on my back, remember? Nice, strong core. Tapping that shoulder. Good, good. Mark Rober, okay. Sweet. Skywing, good to see you, mate. So glad you're doing along with us. We're all here to back you. Can I get some beast in chat for Skywing, please? Skywing's a great friend. We met her in person at a Spartan race. How have you been, Skywing? You woke up early? Yes! Yes! Good! Good! All right, we're gonna do this just for you then. I say this sometimes, that sometimes I get up in the morning, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I streaming? Why am I recording this? It's for people like Skywing that are getting up, doing the workouts with me. See, I've still got my legs bent a little bit. So Skywing, same for you. If you feel like you can't get your straight legs up, just bend the knees a little bit. You're gonna lower the leverage required to get those legs up in the air. Bend the knees, but for the next couple of rounds, hey! Fuck you smell. Thanks for gifting. Whoa, we're 2 away from that sub goal as well, by the way. Whoa, getting there. All right, let's go. Push-ups. So Skywing, I was saying earlier that this is a blue level workout, so I'd like everyone to try full push-ups. Now, if you can't push up off the ground, do this, okay? So hands down in the top of a push-up. Lower yourself down to the floor. If you don't have the strength to get up, just use your knees. Start at the top and then do a slow 3, 2, 1. Negative push-up. So we're doing negative reps here. 3, 2, 1, down. And what's cool about the negative reps is that you're actually using the same range of motion as a full push-up and using the same muscles. Same muscles. Good. There we go. Take a 1 minute rest. You got to reset the Twitch ones each day. These guys, you mean? Oh, the Twitch goals. The Twitch sub goals, yes. Yes, sorry, it just clicked for me, Grace. Yes. If you use the Twitch sub goals, you gotta reset them every morning. Whereas I'm using the Lumia ones. So it's per stream, these ones. It keeps count per stream. Yeah. I appreciate you, Skywing, as well, for thanking your gifter. And if you ever have had a gift sub in any channel, make sure you thank your gifter there. Squat thrust, let's go Skywing. You know these ones. Because you've done a Spartan race, you know what burpees are. So these aren't as bad as full burpees, are they? So we're just gonna see how fast we can go. Go. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get my heart rate up into the green. I wanna go from pink to green. So we're zone 1 to zone 3. Squeezing the butt at the top there. Big, powerful thrust. There's that green. One more. Good, 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 good. Let's go. Bringing that mat back out for our back rotations. Now this one isn't high intensity. I want you to hold. I'd like you to do a full 2-second hold at the top of each one. So we're doing our left back rotations first. I do miss this as well, by the way. When I don't do workouts in the morning, it starts to feel a bit off, like something's aren't right. 1, 2, 3, bring it down, good. Okay, back, 180 degrees. You want that full straight line from the hand that's on the ground all the way to the elbow that should be pointing up towards the ceiling. We're in that 3-second hold. 1, 2, 3, and down. So squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening up the chest. Nice. You should be feeling this in the core as well, to be honest, because the core is helping these oblique muscles. They're helping to drive and to hold that twist, okay? So shoulders, obliques, so much work. It's a great movement, this one. I think a lot of people forget about it because it's not glamorous, it's not super sweaty, it's not like a burpee where people say they hate it. I feel like the movements that have a lot of apathy about them, sometimes really, really good to fit into a workout because you can't put a price on posture, can you? This is the sort of movement that carries on into real life. When you walk into a room, when you're walking around, when you're at your standing desk, where you're sitting down and just having externally rotated shoulders, sitting up straight, exuding confidence. That's what that gives you. Yeah. Okay, alternating lunge and knees. Grab yourself something squishy. That was a great idea, Beardy. I love that. Grab yourself something squishy. 2 things. If you can get a weighted squishy, 5 kilo squishy, I'm gonna hold it here at my chest, but as I raise my knee, I'm gonna thrust that knee into the squishiness. So rear lunge, up, bang, swap it. So 2 things it's doing. Weighted lunges feel fantastic, and then getting that knee up nice and high. And because it's squishy, it's all good. You can do this with like look, if you were to grab a plastic bag, bonus stability, yeah. Ooh. Good stability. Let's go, 30 more seconds. Okay, enough talking, Jeff. Try not to shuffle the feet. Don't do this. You don't want to shuffle. You want to land those feet exactly where you need them. Ooh. Good, nice. Just reminded me of rock climbing then. You want to, when you're rock climbing, try to put your squishmallow. Ooh. You want to try and put your hand and your feet where you need them. Try not to go like this. Like put them where you need them so that you're ready to roll, ready to move. You look like a robot. You look really, really good when you do that. Plank. Look, you don't need to have a mat for a plank. What a mat does, to be honest, is it helps with the forearms. So you can even just put a towel down on the floor. If you want to put a towel down so you're not getting a lot of pressure on the forearms. If you're wearing shoes, doesn't matter so much. But usually outdoor planks, what I like to do is if there's a grassed area, depending on how allergic you are to certain types of grass, you can put your hands on the grass. But usually playgrounds are tough because here in Australia especially, you get that rubberized floor matting and then you get those tiny little gum nuts. And when you get up off the ground, you've been planking on the playground, you get up and you've just got little indents all over your forearm, right? Yeah, you think about grass and get it right. I was thinking about you, Grace, and so I was remembering where we used to live and how there was a playground near there. And whenever I do the planks on the ground there, you get just little studding of Diamante gum nuts all over your forearms. Silly little things. Okay, Cossack Squats. Skywing, you with me? You with us, Skywing? Round number 3, so wide legs, okay? Push the knees out to the side. We're gonna go down, but what I want you to do now is keep your hips low as you go from side to side. I need to be wider. As you go from side to side, keep the hips down nice and low. If you can keep your hips at the same height, fantastic. But this one's all about the adductors, the inside of the legs, and the quads. Good. So get after these ones, Skywing. Lots of glute action as well. Lots of stability required, lots of balance. Honestly, the Cossack squats are probably one of my favorite squats. Just for building stability, building strength in the legs as well, because you're not used to doing that. People don't normally like being like this. So if you can get comfortable with getting into that sort of positioning, all the more stable you're gonna be later on in life and in just different parts of life as well. Here we go, again, going from 4 points of contact to 3 points of contact. Tap, tappy, 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 tap. Speed them up now. So in the last 15 seconds, 2, 1, go. Faster. I want you to speed them up. Keep your form though. Don't sacrifice your form for the speed. You go as fast as you can without tilting your body and without losing any of that core stability. Good. Awesome. Skywing. Smashing it. Awesome. Let's go. Bring this over here. So we got our leg raises. So I'm gonna be doing straight leg raises now. So I wanna show you how you start getting into straight leg raises. You're gonna slowly, you're gonna put your hands out to the side for stability. You're gonna try and push your lower back into the floor. So push it down. And what you're gonna do when you do that is actually form a really stable pelvic tilt. And as you're lowering, really think about engaging the muscles that you need to hold your pee. So just imagine that, just holding your pee as you're lowering your legs. Super important. I know some people like to giggle at it, some people have never really thought about it. And by the way, that was my back, I didn't fart. Did you? Look, if I farted, I'd own up to it. It's definitely my back on the mat. So, babe, look, I'm sweating. Okay, push-ups, we've got them to do. But yeah, you wanna try and hold your pee because the pelvic floor is some of the most important muscles in the human body. Whatever gender you are, it is important to note for people that are looking to become pregnant or are pregnant or post-pregnancy, anyone for whom pregnancy might be a factor in their life, it is important because they're some of the muscles that, number one, take a bit of a beating, but also, if you don't get them back into shape, or if they're not in good shape to begin with, they do often lead to issues with peeing, actual peeing. So make sure you're looking after them, okay? It's very easy to do. It's not all that intensive. You just need to make sure when you're doing your movements, you're doing your certain movements, when you're lifting, when you're doing bodyweight stuff, you think about holding your pee. You think about embracing all those muscles there. Good job. Hey team, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes. Yeah, you've needed to work on your core postpartum, 100%. I've got people I'm working with physically every Saturday. She is post C-section, and she's now deadlifting. Yes! She's deadlifting 40 kilos comfortably. I'm thinking about getting her up to a 60 kilo bar. She's doing the trap bar at the moment. So her form is really bloody good. So we're gonna get her onto the actual, yeah, fantastic skywing. That's great. All right, squat thrust, let's go. Let's bring up the power, bring up the intensity. Everyone needs to be going as fast as me right now, okay? Yeah, she's light too, exactly. Yeah, she's actually very light. So it's like 3/4 of her body weight. Nice. Oh yeah, Jafe. Look, you're right. 100% right. Sometimes people need to learn to relax those muscles because when those muscles aren't relaxed, they can lead to some pelvis issues with passing a head through the pelvis. I saw a really good animation. It was posted in a completely tasteless way. Made me a little bit angry, made some people angry. I won't go into it. But the animation itself was of the difference between two different pelvises pelvi and how a head passes through the pelvis or the bone structure. Now you probably figure out when I say it was posted in a way that I don't get behind, it was about gender. But for me, the thing that they missed, the thing that this politically charged post missed was the fact that it doesn't matter what gender you are, all pelvises are different. So they're all different. And even in someone who was assigned at birth the ability to become pregnant, there still may not be. And I know this. My children were actually born C-section because of this reason. Pelvis not being physically able to pass a bloody huge head, and my kids have got bloody huge heads. Yeah. Silly big brain kids. So here we go, alternating lunge knees. We're gonna grab that squish bag, grab that marshmallow, squashmallow, grab it. And we're gonna kick it, we're gonna knee it. Let's go. Your girl got stuck stowing, yeah. It just happens, yeah. Funky smell, you have wide hips but narrow pelvis. See, you see? Plot twist, human bodies vary between individuals. Doesn't matter what gender, right? So let's go. And you know what, funnily enough, you know what's common between all human bodies? They need physical activity to remain healthy. We need yeah, exactly. You know me though, Grace, I read tweets because it's like me witnessing a car crash, and then I think to myself, oh, I've got some things to say to these people, but you can't comment back. Oh, the shoulders are burning because of this weight. Thanks, Beardy. That was great. I love that. Yeah, exactly. They're very, very thin arguments. Let's go. That got me orange. Wow, look at that Beardy. Nice. Okay, here we go. Zone 4 Beardy. Planks, 45 seconds. If you want to make your plank a little bit more, here we go. You're gonna pop a weight on your back. So it's not only now the core strength required to hold the weight in your back, it's that coordination required to actually get your weight on your back in the first place. So the trick here is to not, because it's very easy to go, okay, I'm holding it. No, drop your butt so that you got that straight line. You're gonna squeeze your butt, squeeze your quads, and already I'm shaking, chat. 5 kilos extra on my back is making me shake. So that's another thing to think about. Just imagine if I were to drop 5 kilos of body fat, or if I'm at a point where I was holding 5 kilos too much body fat, how much harder it makes life, how much harder it makes things to do, just having that amount of body fat. If you can drop 5 kilos of body fat, if you're in a position where you need to drop some body fat, it makes a lot of things much easier to do. Cossack squats. Yeah. Parroting is a good one. Yeah, exactly. Let's go. So, look, team, forge your own path. Do what's important to being a good human, but also try and be unique in your own way. Don't fall into someone else's rhetoric. I say that as I'm someone trying to influence people into doing some more workouts, but this isn't a bad thing. Good. Yeah, it's a tough one to comment on, I think, because people are always going to have like some really, sometimes just crazy ideas. Here we go. We got our shoulder taps. I like these ones. I miss doing a lot of heavy duty shoulder taps. I'm also not encouraging human trafficking. Yeah, that's probably well worth quoting. Look, I'm not encouraging human trafficking. I'm not actively encouraging anything illegal or immoral. I'd like you to get some more shoulder taps in, please. I'd like you to strengthen your core so that you can live longer with a strong back. I think those are statements that are a little bit closer to my ethos. Yeah. 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 Why not just remove the but from that statement and focus on someone that just has good points? Right? Yeah. Okay, leg raises. So now, right now, Skywing, I want you to try some straight leg ones, okay? So I'm right behind you here, Skywing. You're gonna go straight legs, big deep breath, brace the core. Exhale as you slowly lower those legs. Big deep breath, brace the core. And then, there you go. You should feel all of the core muscles. That big deep breath, you should be trying to inflate your belly to the sides, okay? That's one thing I don't mention a lot of, but think about that. When you're laying on the floor and you take a big deep breath in, try and inflate your belly out to the sides. A lot of people don't think of that, and that's key. That's key to a lot of the Pilates stuff, key to a lot of the yoga stuff, and just like really good breathing practices in general. Try and breathe laterally, because that helps you to be able to move your diaphragm a little bit better. We've got our last movement here, chat. Let's go, push-ups. Remember what I said, if you can't do full push-ups from the toes, do your negative reps from your toes. I'd like everyone to step up now. If you've been doing push-ups from the knees, I'd like you to extend those legs, go to the toes, and if you can't push up, then at least negative down and use your knees to get up. But I want that full negative. Everyone can do them. I know this. Everyone that has the ability to, now when I say everyone, look, I'm not trying to be ableist, but anyone that's got shoulder mobility, anyone that's got hip and knee mobility, you all have the ability to lower yourself down, and I'd like you to try it. But for now, congratulate yourselves. Pat yourselves on the back. Everyone. Give us a bit of that. Give us a bit of the applause, the ovation there. Well done, team. That was a blue level workout. So like I said, if you're green, stepping up to blue, that's a fantastic effort. Look at the sweat. Look at this. Where's that noise coming from? I've got a timer. What's this timer? Excuse me? That's weird. Oh, Siri thought that I was asking for a 10-minute timer. Weird. All right, team. So if that was your first blue level, well done. If you're normally on the purple level workouts, you can tell by the color of the walls, then that was a really, really good intensity lowering session, which we all need. You need to have a good mix between high intensity and lower intensity. You can't do high all the time, and you shouldn't do low all the time because you're not going to progress. If you do high all the time, you're going to fatigue. If you do low all the time, you're going to plateau. Two places you don't want to be. So until next time, hopefully we can catch you here on YouTube for another one of these recorded home bodyweight workouts, or live on Twitch, twitch.tv/fit4purpose, Adelaide mornings when we do these live. You can join in with chat. So hopefully we'll see you next time.